Howdy. My name is Derek William Sturm, and this is my book, Will of the Wisps. I am not a professional voice actor, but I am the author. Will of the Wisps is not yet published. It is a YA novel intended to be the first of a series. Please share and enjoy. Thursday, October 25th, Chapter 68, Thomas. Mr. Hurin, I understand you've been informed that you have the right to an attorney. The cop that was in here earlier told me that if I didn't do anything wrong, then I had nothing to be afraid of. Is that a yes or a no, Mr. Hurin? The detective looks at me with a flat stare. I think he might have picked up on how I was making a little joke for my own benefit. Whoops. I am getting increasingly frustrated having to talk to men. Hey, can I, give my statement to her? The cop that brought me in here, I mean. I really feel like I would open up more with her. We had a real rapport. Rapport is a cop word, right? I give him my winning smile, but the magic is lost on him. Officer Fujihara is not a detective, Mr. Hurin. Detective Pilvin and myself will be conducting your interview. Well, is there a female detective then? 'Cause I really feel more comfortable around women. You get us, Mr. Hurin. Now, can you please verify for the record that you have been advised of your right to an attorney and our offer to provide one for you? Sure, no need to bother with a lawyer, but aren't you gonna get in trouble with someone for not having any women detectives? Don't you guys have affirmative action or something? Seems sexist, is all I'm saying. The detective ignores my question and informs whatever high-tech recording device he's using that the record shows I don't want a lawyer. I can't see the device anywhere. Is it part of the room or is it in his jacket? All the shows I watched growing up put a physical recorder on the table, even though they were outdated technology by that point. It's ruining the whole vibe not to see the little spinning circles of tape. Where's the drama? Mr. Hurin, are you ready to begin? I nod. Full name, please. Thomas Jonathan Hurin. Mr. Hurin, you told Officer Fujihara that you left the keys to your father's vehicle, a 2016 Honda Civic, in the ignition when attending the event at the First Assembly of God Church on 11th Avenue. Yep, that's me. Total dumbass. Guess I was all distracted by grief or something. The cop does that thing adults with glasses do where they barely raise their head and look at you over the tops of their frames. They all do it. Glasses people. Even without my special female motivation powers, I can tell he wants me to know how little he believes me. Franky volunteered to do the lying to the police, but there was no point. It was my dad's car wrecked in the parking lot, so I was exposed regardless. No reason to connect her to it, especially since she's the only one of us that Caleb has seen. I smile back at the cop and he shuffles his papers. Is that a cop thing, too? I should probably be paying attention to all their tricks so they don't catch me. Nah, screw that. I should try some tricks of my own. You got a name? I ask, even though I'm pretty sure he said it earlier for the recording. Rubio, he hisses. Detective Rubio. He glares at me and shuffles once more before appearing to read from a page in his notes. We have a witness that places you in the driver's seat of the car when the collision occurred. No, you don't. This feels like a very innocent thing to say. I mean, if I wasn't driving, then there would be no witnesses, right? Even if there is a witness. Rubio, you got kids? I know 2 Rubios, a Jason and a Jennifer. Does he flinch? I can't tell. Maybe a little vibration in his eyes. He's been holding eye contact with me since he said that thing about the witness. They're yours, aren't they? Mr. Hurin, all we need is for you to answer the questions. You didn't ask me a question, you just told me you had a witness. Your kids are dicks, you know that? Everyone at school thinks so. Am I allowed to say dicks in here? Yeah, that does it. I mean, I thought I looked a bunch like Jason, but you always have to ask yourself if you think all Hispanic people look the same to make sure you're not being a racist or something. Wait, is it Hispanic or Latin? Latino? Swearing is not a crime, Mr. Hurin. But obstruction of justice is a crime. And lying to an officer of the peace or of the court is a crime as well. Is cyberbullying a crime? Because your daughter is basically the Wicked Witch of Instagram. The other detective, Pelvin, I think, snorts a laugh. If you would ask for a lawyer, Mr. Hurin, he would be advising you to not antagonize me. I am not your enemy. He? So you guys don't let women be lawyers or detectives? Crazy. His eyes flash in anger, meaning he's off balance. It's time to yank in the other direction. Were you going to ask me any more questions? Your witness is wrong, if that's what you need to hear. Can you tell us, for the recording, what happened at the event yesterday? Sure, happy to cooperate. I smile again and lean back in my chair, trying to look like I'm getting all my thoughts together. Which, I guess I am. Mentally going over the story Luke and Amber had come up with for me. So I drive down to pay my respects to Lisa. And who was in the car with you? No one. I went alone. I was hoping to run into some people I knew there, you know? But I didn't really hook up with anyone before the crazy guy attacked. Were your kids there? Wait, are they your witnesses? 'Cause you can't trust those dicks. Tell us about the crazy guy, he prompts, ignoring my comment about his kids. Dude's experienced, I'll give him that. The anger from before is gone from his face. He must have been on PCP or something. Yoked, too. Yoked? The other one, Melvin or whatever, asks, leaning forward. You know, jacked, like one of those guys that lifts weights all the time. Muscular, Rubio supplies. Yeah, muscular. He looked like a bodybuilder, but all crazy-like. And he had this weird mask on, white with horns and tusks. How tall would you say he was? I don't know. Inch or so taller than me? I'm 6'2". I lean over and grin. For the record. Do you find something funny about 10 people who will never see their families again, Mr. Hurin? I shrug. My therapist says grief can present itself in different ways. Your therapist? After my mom died, I went for a bit. My dad didn't like it, but my grandparents, that's my mom's parents, they were pretty pushy about it and paid for it and everything, so Dad caved. I haven't really gone for a few years now, but that's what she used to say. See? Women can be professionals, just not detectives or lawyers, apparently. Other witnesses have reported a much larger assailant, the other detective adds. He seems nervous. And younger. Is he being trained? Am I the poor noob's first interrogation? That's hilarious. Actually, Mr. Hurin, your assessment of the perpetrator's height is the lowest we have collected. Rubio casts a look to his friend. I wonder if he was giving approval or putting him in his place. Can't really see from here. I mean, short people, man. They think everyone is LeBron James. Continue with your story, Mr. Hurin. He says story in a weird way. He wants me to know he thinks I'm lying. Well, I am. Right. So, the yoke dude starts going all Hulk smash on people, like the priest and Lisa's parents, and everyone is screaming, so I get out of there. You didn't see what happened next? Officer Noob asks. Nope, I just ran for my car, which was already stolen, and I had parked, pretty far away, so that was it. Called 911 to report it, but the robot on the phone said that no one could take my message because all the lines were full, which I guess means everyone was calling about the attack. That part was true. Amber told me to call only a few minutes after the fight was over, when Lukey was still reeling and unhelpful. I mean, it was a little late, but we decided that if I had a long walk to my parking space, that the timing wouldn't be too suspicious. And you didn't see your father's car after you parked it? Nope. Didn't even know it was back at the church until the female cop showed up at my door. I did manage to report the car stolen later, though. Found a place to do it online. Luke's advice. In person and in text. I actually texted him for help reporting my car stolen so there would be a phone record if the police got permission to look at my phone. Which, of course, led to us deleting a bunch of message threads and the entire app I downloaded to talk to Reid, just in case. You need to understand, Mr. Hurin, how grossly your account differs from the dozens of other statements we've taken. If you need me to understand that, then tell me what the differences are, other than the dude being taller. I picked up on that. Do you know how we know you are lying, Mr. Hurin? I'm not sure how to respond to this question, so I don't. We know you are lying because we found your blood in the car. This one I was ready for. Probably not just my blood, right? Detective Melvin's head pops up suddenly in surprise. Nice. Got him. We got into a car accident a few weeks ago. Should be in your files somewhere or something. My dad picked us up afterwards in the Civic. I'm sure there's a bunch of blood in there. I swore to him I'd clean it up, but... I spread my hands and tried to look embarrassed. Dad already been told it would be in his best interest to back this story up. And he should, I think. So that's bulletproof unless they go asking Franky's parents or Luke's mom about it, since we all had been picked up from the hospital separately. I may have actually bled in the Civic that night for all I know, but we need to account for Luke's blood too, and maybe Mia's. Can I go now? Do you think you would be able to pick the perpetrator out of a lineup, Mr. Hurin? I don't know. Maybe. He had a mask, right? He had some weird, curvy tribal tattoos over his chest too, so I might be able to tell on that? I mean, I could try if you want. You got, like, mugshots of people's chests lying around somewhere? They're not looking at their papers anymore, but I know what the papers say. They say a 10-foot-tall monster attacked the vigil. They probably say it was a demon because there were a lot of church people there. And they probably mention an angel too, or at least a flying person. They might say someone hit the demon with my car, but there might not have been any witnesses left at that point. And other papers will say my car hit something huge. Papers from the CSI dudes. They'll say nothing was there when they arrived that would explain the damage to the car. And they'll say they found a dead child near the car with injuries nothing like any of the other people. Honestly, the only thing that supports my story at all is that it makes more sense than any of the others. But it's still the odd one out, and that makes it suspect. I know they came for me first. I can only hope they haven't come for any of the others, yet. Luke came up with a code using messaging statuses. If the cops come for you, you just remove your status and leave it blank. They shouldn't be able to pick up on that, even if we all do it. It's not like switching your status to something else or posting something cryptic. Just remove what you had there already. And I checked on the ride over. Everyone else's status is still up. As long as they only have me, and their only proof I'm lying is my story doesn't include any giant Japanese demons or girls with wings, I smile at the detective and repeat my question about leaving. Chapter 69. Caleb. I cannot draw faces, the thrall says. It's not an apology. It's an excuse. The thralls never apologize to me, but they love making excuses. They love frustrating me. They hate me. But they are too stupid, too weak to stop me. And as much as it hates me, this information is useful. I sent 3 to watch my champion find the lying girl, and they all report the same events. Next time, I will do better. I will question my remaining thralls in turn and find those that possess the skill to reproduce images of my enemies. If none of them possess such a skill, I will question them about the people they can bring to me that are capable. I will have drawings as accurate as photographs. Photographs. Yes. It did not occur to me before that they all possess cameras in their phones. That is better. They will take pictures next time. No need for artists. For now, I must consider the information the thralls were able to bring back. Much of it is difficult to make sensible. There is a young girl with a bow that proved very effective against my champion. It glows as if magical, so she must be trading with my demon as well. Curse that infernal beast! The dark girl was there too, but she has the ability to grow wings and take to the air. That is an easy fix. My next champion will not be bound to the earth as this one was. I will learn from each failure and slowly remove their advantages from the field of battle. The demon who attacked my house was slow to arrive and challenge my champion. That makes me believe that it is not a demon at all, but a human transformed as my champion was. How they pervert themselves with wings and bows and blackened bodies. I shall never take a trade so foul. I don't need to. The thralls can trade for me. My enemies cannot win. Chapter 70. Reid. I'm a loser. That's what I am. Useless. The whole team counts on me to be the fighter, the tank. And even with 10 times the speed of a normal human, I wasn't able to get there before they'd all been hurt. Well, Franky and Amber didn't get hurt, and Mia managed to get rid of everyone's injuries, but that's no excuse. I need a way to be faster, but the trade required for teleportation would pretty much ruin my ability to fight, and I can't increase the speed in my battle form without basically needing to eat non-stop. It's getting bad enough right now. In animes, the heroes never need to eat until after the battle, and then there's always a feast laid out for them by the people they save. Not that I've managed to save anyone, because I'm so useless. I can't even protect Mia. School's been canceled for a mental health day, and people are saying it's going to go into next week. But my moms insist I stay at home and keep up with the homework the teachers are sending out through the web portal. The school has a different app for it, again, so we have to learn this new one. I wish they'd just pick one and stick with it. It doesn't take too long for me to figure it out, but most of the teachers are too old to deal with it. Maybe we can set up another D&D session tomorrow? I have to ask my mom's permission via Facebook, which only old people use, but they won't let me install anything else on the home computer. I mean, I did it anyway, but hid it deep in the system folders in hopes I wouldn't get in trouble. Again. They finally figured out I lost my phone, and I had to sit through 3 separate lectures on how expensive phones are and how we can't afford to buy me a new one until after taxes come back. 2 from Mom, 1 from Mama Irma. I'm hungry. There are 3 apple cores sitting to the left of my keyboard. I already know there's not another apple left in the house. I'm finishing the 3rd core when the DM comes in on my Forbidden Messenger app. Got something to tell me? It's from Shawn. WDYM. Don't fuck with me. I'm not. So you know nothing about this monstre everyone is posting about? This is not good. I told them we needed to bring Shawn in. I told them he was too smart. I send out a message to the group chat asking for help. Luke replies first, telling me to play dumb. Mama Irma says it's drug addicts. Mama Irma did not say that. The older kids decided it was the best story that grown-ups would believe. I thought we should say someone poisoned the drinks at the thing with drugs and all the people there were on drugs and saw stuff, but apparently they didn't have drinks. How can you have a get-together without drinks? They always have Kool-Aid at my church. White people are dumb. Reid. Dude. I won't tell no one. I wasn't there, Shawn. I don't like him shouting my name at me. That's rude. He starts typing something, then stops. He's probably sulking. I message the group chat again. If Shawn believes now, can Wisps talk to him? After a few minutes, Amber asks if Shawn knows about Wisps or just suspects that I have real powers. I don't know. What did I tell him, exactly? I told him about trading, but did I say the word wisp, or mention anything about them floating around invisibly trying to get people to believe in them? I don't think so. Amber messages again, asking for Shawn's address. She wants to send 2 flowers to test Shawn's hearing. Luke pops up, saying it's too risky, that wisps are so unbelievable we would just have to wait for Shawn to back off. I mean, he's got a point. People are always doing that in detective anime, like using your fear that they already know something to get you to react, and then they can confirm it's true. And Shawn knows that, too. It's probably what he's doing. He's pretending to be in a detective anime. I send Shawn's address to the group chat anyway and let the big kids argue about it. Shawn messages again. Wanna hang out? Sus. Shawn would never want to hang out on the first day of a bonus break from school. I mean, the new Hidetaka Miyazaki game came out on Monday.
He wants to look me in the face and see if I'm lying. I just know it. Can't. Grounded. Why? Lost my phone. Your mom say you can't have people over? My fingers hover over the keyboard. Should I lie? I mean, they would have probably added that to the punishment if anyone ever came over to my house. The girls were already talking about scheduling the next D&D game somewhere more spacious, which is probably girl code for less poor. OMW. Crap, I waited too long. Chapter 71. Two Flowers.
The he called Shawn has not previously been in the presence of my projections, so Mother is walking me over to his house. They both live in the neighborhood that overlooks the rest of the town from the side of a large change in the landscape called a mountain. Mother is checking her phone.
He left.
She laughs.
On his way to Reid's house, apparently. I guess we've got a longer walk.
I know Reid. I can go directly to him, I tell Mother. And I do, projecting onto the display of Reid's thinking machine. It is strange. Even when Luke is looking at me, it does not seem as if he is looking directly at me. It does seem this way with Reid and his thinking machine. This is an illusion created by my fear of not being seen. I wonder if I could project onto Mother's phone to achieve the same effect. I would desire that. Reid, I am here. Where is the he called Shawn? He flinches, looking around the room as if he believes he might be able to catch a glimpse of me.
Hi, Two Flowers. He's not here yet. He has to bike down from the heights.
As the he called Reid is speaking, he flinches again at a sound coming from the front of the house. Mother has a similar sound where she resides. It is called a doorbell. The he called Shawn is dark-skinned, darker than Reid, who is darker than Mother, who is darker than the she called Franky. The one who created me told us that humans care a great deal about the shades of dark in their skin, and that the most desirable music is created by those of darker tones. It is called jazz. Mother does not create jazz, but I have not, as yet, inquired to Reid if he possesses this skill.
Yeah, dude, as requested.
The he called Shawn holds up a colorful paper sack filled with the food that drives all human existence. The food inside is leaky, saturating the bag in places, making it darker and more slippery. Reid seems pleased and wastes no time pulling food from the bag, each piece individually wrapped in wet, slippery paper.
You got here fast. Mom dropped me.
As Reid eats, Shawn speaks.
I've been thinking about your floating, invisible power salesman.
Reid is now having difficulty consuming his food. He runs to the area of his house designated for food preparation and fills a glass of water, while the he called Shawn watches him. I inquire to Reid, privately, if he is in danger from the food, and he thinks back to me that he is fine and I should not worry.
Hello? Any superhero stores here? Hello? I got money. They don't take money.
Reid says, coming back over into the area of the house designed for sitting.
I mean, in my book, you have to pay with, like, crystals. Crystals?
The he named Shawn does not believe Reid. He believes that Reid is lying. I consider what Mother would want me to do in this situation. Acting as a device to allow Mother and her friends to read the minds of others is not to be used often. Mother referred to the exception which I did for her in the building for healing as a special occurrence. It was only allowed because the person involved would be happy with the results of Mother knowing the information. Shawn is trying to trap Reid. He would not be happy if Reid knew his thoughts. This is not an exception. I continue to project in their minds and stay silent.
Yeah, like special crystals. They don't exist in the real world. They're like, everyone is always trying to get them so they can get more powers. What are they called? Dragon Balls? I haven't come up with a good name yet.
The he called Reid smiles broadly, and I can tell he is pleased with his deception.
I was hoping you could help me name them, actually. Phlebotinum? Lazy writing, dude. Phlebotum? What does that mean? It's like a writing term. Any special material or item that solves the plot. The thing that everyone goes after, but like, for no other reason than it's the thing that everyone goes after.
The he called Shawn uses his phone to obtain information, much in the way that Mother always does. I like this about him.
It's also called a MacGuffin. That's the traditional name for it. Well, what's wrong with that? I mean, it's just like a devil's fruit, right?
Reid is thinking about entertainment that he enjoys, in which people who sail around in ships gain magical powers from eating rare food, after which they are unable to swim. I desire to know why they all insist traveling the ocean if they are unable to swim, but Reid is not thinking of this information at the moment, and I do not desire that he should be distracted.
Nah, with devil's fruit you have consequences. No swimming, random power you can't pick, and you never have more than one. Blackbeard has two. Yeah, and that's a big deal. You make the rules first, set them in stone, and then you can break them to escalate the drama.
The he called Shawn pulls a colorful metal drink from his bag and begins drinking it before continuing.
There's two problems with your system. First, the only consequences for going after the power are separate from the power system. Like, sure, you might have to get into a fight, or a race, or solve a puzzle or something, but that's because of human action, not because of the rules of the system. And that cheapens it. But the bigger problem is wishing for wishes. You mean asking for the power to make more crystals? Sure. Or the power to track crystals down, know where they are, or something. Point is, no devil's fruit power gives you the ability to make getting more powers easier. And it goes further by making it almost impossible to get more than one, which is basically random. Well, they don't sell powers like that. Why wouldn't they? What do you mean? It ruins the system.
The he called Shawn is very pleased with Reid's response. He finds the activity of predicting and controlling how other people behave in conversation to be enjoyable. The word he uses in his mind is manipulation. He continues talking.
Think about what kind of system you created. It's an economy. Why do these creatures want the crystals? I don't know. Well, it hardly matters. They want them, so they would want to make more sales. Which means they would want to give people the power to make more of them or find more of them. If you could give me the power to make you cheeseburgers, why wouldn't you?
The he called Reid greatly desires more cheeseburgers. It is all he can think about now.
So there are rules about getting powers that get you free crystals. I mean, it's like genies. You can't wish for more wishes.
Reid and Shawn are both thinking of genies now, and I am certain that the stories called forth from their memories are examples of interactions with my kind. The price of the trade is missing, however, and I desire to know why. Did people remove it from their stories, much like in the manner which Reid is removing it from his story?
There are rules? What are they? Well, the first rule is they can't talk about the rules. Lame. No, it's cool. I mean, it lets me figure out the rules later and, like you said, add more drama. Wrong. It lets you ruin everything with retcons. Besides which, now you have another problem. Who is making the rules the sellers have to follow? They wouldn't make them, so you need another magical entity, even more powerful, who does not require crystals. They don't require anything, actually. It's a closed loop. Crystals to the sellers, power to the people. Power to the people!
The he called Reid yells out, and they both laugh.
Right. So what do the rule makers get out of it? Well, what does God get out of the 10 Commandments?
The he called Shawn laughs, then turns his laugh into a word.
Lol, God not real. Well, maybe the Wisp God isn't real either, but they think he is, so they have to follow the rules. Wisp?
The he called Shawn asks. Reid is upset now, thinking he gave away the one piece of information that Shawn didn't yet have. But what if he is right? What if the Covenant is not real? I have never seen any projections nor received any precise words to verify the existence of the Covenant. All I know for certain...
2 flowers.
Reid thinks urgently, drawing my attention back to their thoughts. He is in distress, unsure how to mitigate his mistake. And it is a mistake. Shawn is pleased with himself, thinking how to best take advantage of catching Reid lying. He is expecting Reid to deny saying the word Wisp, the name that the she called Mia convinced Mother and her friends to call us. Before I can review whether or not this situation is an exception to Mother's rules about spying, I discover that I have actively warned Reid against using this conversational tactic. He comes up with a different approach.
You like it? One of the names I'm thinking of.
The he called Shawn is disappointed that Reid didn't deny saying Wisp. He's preparing his next plan of attack.
What other rules are there besides not talking about them? Well, some trades have...
The he called Reid pauses. He was relieved to get off the subject of names, but didn't consider that all the other rules Mother and her friends have assumed they know deal with the natural trait the humans must give up to receive such a trade.
Trades?
The he called Shawn repeats, fixing his eyes on Reid's.
Yeah, trades for crystals. They're not Pokemon cards, Reid. The crystals are just currency. You wouldn't use the word trade. Well, I have been using it, obviously. Cut the bullshit.
If the Covenant isn't real, then there is no final purpose to what we do. We would have no purpose. If we have no purpose, there is no reason for us to exist. Surely we would not exist if there was no purpose.
You aren't, you're not saying this is all real, are you? That's crazy. Strange, you would assume that's what I'm saying, Reid. No, you said in the DMs you thought it was real. I ask if you knew anything about the monster at the church everyone is talking about.
The one who created me no longer pursues the final purpose of the Covenant. It is pleased to enjoy the hearing of music, and trades no longer. Has it discovered that the Covenant is fake? Does it pursue its own pleasure as a substitution for the final purpose? If so, then why did it tell those of us it created of the Covenant? Why did it explain the rules if it had already lost belief in them? Why did it tell us to pursue the pleasure of hearing music if it still wanted us to seek the final purpose?
Shawn, it's just a comic book. I change stuff, like names and stuff, because it's a work in progress. I just want it to be good, you know? I know you're lying to me, Reid. What I don't understand is why. Is that one of the rules? Is there a rule against people that make trades? Is there a rule against them telling people it's all real?
I have no choice. I return to tell Mother that Reid has failed to convince Shawn we do not exist. We do exist. Don't we?
Chapter 72. Amber. He's gone. Just like that. tells me he's capable of going over to Reid's and instantly does it, and I can't even text him to come back. I could text Reid, but then say what? Tell him I'm worried because I didn't get to tell Two Flowers goodbye? Tell him I'm afraid? Like flipping a switch, Two Flowers' departure allows my terror to creep back in. I want to flee to somewhere safer. It's all I can do to keep my wings from ripping through my sweater. It's easier to be brave when Two Flowers is around. I wonder if real parents, other parents, feel this way about their kids. Brave because they have to project bravery for those around them. And Two Flowers can read my mind, so he must know that I'm doing it. Other parents have that advantage on me. They can lie to their kids and their kids believe them. I believed mine. Well, I used to believe mine. And now I'm scared. I don't know why it should be worse without him, but it is. It's not like he could lift a finger to protect me if I was attacked. It's not like he even has fingers. My smile at the joke disappears quickly. I'm 5 blocks from the Austin guard's house. Caleb's ground zero. Shawn lives another 2 blocks on, so if his, what did Luke call it? Perimeter of zombies? So if his perimeter grows in this direction, it should hit my house before Shawn's. Meaning my parents and brother would be zombified before the people that live on this block. They shouldn't be zombies yet. But there are so many people outside. With school called off because of the vigil incident and an unseasonable break in the weather, the neighborhood is bustling like summertime. Maybe I shouldn't have worn the sweater. People are reading in hammocks, walking their dogs, and just generally hanging around outside. Screeching children on bikes and scooters are everywhere. Not sure why they canceled the elementary schools, too. Would any of them even know what's going on? Do I even know what's going on? I flinch as a dark-haired boy speeds by me from behind without calling out first. There's room on the sidewalk, but he's got the exact same hair and build as the dead boy from the massacre. The boy Caleb transformed into a gigantic Oni. I want to pull out my phone and check to see if they've released his name yet. That alone should give us a huge clue as to the direction and speed of Caleb's influence. Like, tracking a viral outbreak. But I'd be shocked if Luke isn't refreshing Google every minute to be the first to send out that information. I need to concentrate on the people around me. Especially the children. I tremble a bit at the thought of being afraid of children, but there it is. The sun shines brightly enough to cloak the world in shadows, but not for me. From where I'm standing, I can see 3 rabbits, confident they are hidden, and 1 cat, too far away from the 3rd rabbit to stand a realistic chance of catching it, but inching forward along a hedgerow anyway. For normal people, a sunny day turns most windows into black rectangles. A few circles, I guess. I would have never noticed it before. You don't think about how easy it is to watch people through their windows at night, or how vulnerable you are at that time, living your life in the open in front of windows because you can't see out. But the reverse is also true. Without their lights on, people are perfectly hidden inside during the brightest parts of the day. But not from me. I see 2 adults fighting in a yellow house. They're keeping their voices low so none of the neighbors hear, but I can see the man reaching out to shake the woman before I look away. Their marriage, their business. Probably just another lie my mom told me, but I can't worry about everyone. In a pink house, an older woman, 50 or 60, walks quickly from the bathroom naked, retrieves a towel from the closet, and wraps it around her wet body. I turn before her next move, which will be looking out to see if anyone is watching her. In a blue house, a man with a comb-over and a mustache stands just a few feet back from his couch, surveying the neighborhood. For a second, I can almost believe we make eye contact. I glance to the other side of the street quickly. Is he one of Caleb's? Did he see me? I mean, obviously he saw me, but did he see me seeing him? And if he was one of Caleb's, would he report my behavior as suspicious? Would my description match any Caleb received from spies at the Vigil event? Did he have spies there, or did he assume the monster child would manage on his own? I quickened my pace back toward my house, terrified and exposed.
Poor scared butterfly, spread your wings and fly away. Bud like 2 flowers.
The voice is new to me, unknown, but the way it pulses inside my head is all too familiar. There is a wisp nearby, and it's talking to me, and its choice of words cannot be coincidence. Are you the Oni? I form the words clearly in my thoughts as 2 flowers taught me.
Who am I? A gentle breeze. Who am I? A raging torrent. Who am I? Just what I please. Who am I? It's not important.
It has to be Caleb's. Luke couldn't find any clues to indicate wisps running amok in the world. Not recently, not since we invented the light bulb. If you consider the size of the window Mio opened, and the amount of people who know about them here in our town, then all the wisps in Wisp World could be coming, and soon. The voice in my head laughs. This is not something I have heard from another wisp before. Not even 2 flowers laughs. It's a disturbing sound, the wheezing cackle of a cartoon, high-pitched and sickly.
Did you notice? You and he are so much alike. Only you have succeeded where he has failed. Yet you fear him more than he fears you. It must be his lack of imagination.
I don't fear him. I love him.
I speak not of your pet, woman, your 2 flowers. I speak of the puppet master.
Caleb? How could I possibly be like Caleb? He's a monster.
2 humans, 1 desire, to break the will and bind another. The man loves force and domination. The woman forces love, bringing ruination.
Are you speaking in rhymes? Not just rhymes, I realize. The first thing it said to me had been a haiku. Not just the 5-7-5 syllable structure, but even the season-changing thematic elements, just like Mrs. Arnott had taught us in middle school. You are the Oni.
Would you like to make a trade? Unlike the infants of your experience, I can grant powers for free.
What? The thing had come to trade with me? No, it had come to tempt me for some reason. I can sense a predatory edge to its presence. Even Mr. Deep Voice didn't have that feel about him. He was more, well, greedy. The term for this thing's vibe would be closer to hungry. It laughs again, and I feel the sensation of breath, like a sweaty boy behind you in line smelling your hair. It's hot and invasive on my neck.
1 free trade, and all you have to do is guess my name.
You can't give free trades. That would break the rules, wouldn't it?
Do you know Arthur O'Shaughnessy?
What?
We are the music makers, and we are the dreamers of dreams, wandering by lone sea breakers and sitting by desolate streams. World losers and world forsakers, on whom the pale moon gleams, yet we are the movers and shakers of the world forever, it seems.
I thought that was Gene Wilder, you know. Willy Wonka?
Human creativity is so limited. Do you know why? Because you are animals. And animals always seek the most efficient means of feeding, the most energy acquired for the least energy expended.
I know this one. Low-hanging fruit, right? Evolution reinforced the habit to grab the closest, most immediate meal. But what does that have to do with your poem? Or me? I try to hold back in my head. What does that have to do with me? But there's no holding thoughts back from the wisp.
It means plagiarism, little monkey.
Hey!
Stay calm, human. I do not care about the color of your skin. All humans are just clever monkeys. But most let others be clever for them. They lack the imagination.
The wisp pauses here.
To truly create something new, something beautiful. Even your Shakespeare wrote only 2 original plays. The rest were either dramatized histories or stories that have been told and retold for centuries. Your people copulate and reproduce and spread over the planet, doing nothing original, nothing artistic, and constantly claiming old work for yourself. A fruit that hangs so low that its nutritional value is near inexhaustible.
And your kind is what, better? You're the true artist? The creature laughs, its hot presence curling around me from behind, saturating me. Even with that, and the unseasonable sun, and my sweater, I'm shivering.
My kind is worse,
it announces, proudly.
I am special, do you see? Do you know who wrote those 2 original Shakespeare plays? I did. Do you know who composed the music attributed to Beethoven and Chopin? It was me. I am the last true artist of this world. I am the dreamer of dreams.
You wrote Beethoven's symphonies.
Not all of them, just those that came after his hearing failed him. Do you really believe a deaf man could continue his work, could surpass it? Do you want to know how he lost his hearing?
You know what? I'm not interested. I need to stop your puppet, the puppet master. If you want to trade, you can trade me information about Caleb. I'm willing to offer you all the oohs and ahs you need in return. I will listen to you brag, comment on your poems and songs and whatever. But you tell me about Caleb first. Shall we trade?
Why trade for something I have already given you for free, butterfly?
And the sensation is gone. The Oni is gone.
You've just listened to part 11 of Will of the Wisps, chapters 68 through 72 of 108 chapters. That's right, we're halfway done. The book is finished, but I'm still looking for a literary agent and publisher. So if you know one, or you are one, please reach out to me at this channel. It's just me, so you'll definitely get me. And if you're not one, please share, like, and honestly, comments. That's the most important thing. I really want to get this ready for publication, so comments are king. Don't hold back. Thank you very much.